We cannot just be connected to a digital world. We have to remain connected to the things that can inspire us. These physical books, this ephemera of life lived. These passionate tactile objects will inspire us and push us forward in ways that digital technology cannot. This is Cy Twombly's 50 Days at Ilium, brilliant book. Dennis Hopper's 1712 North Crescent Heights. This book is one of my favorites. He was having a hard time getting a job as a film director. His wife, Brooke Hayward, gave him a 35mm Nikon, and he learned how to compose and direct through his still camera. Brilliant. Peter Beard, genius, madman. He kept these diaries of his life every day, putting notes and blood and photographs into these thickening of life captured inside these giant tombs. He carried around these books. They were a foot deep. Lyons, Bikeriders. Dennis Hopper, Drugstore camera. I really like this book. It's really personal, and shot it with just a drugstore camera as titled, but these really just kind of innocent photographs. This is Joseph Beuys, Every Human Being is an Artist. Brilliant book. Julian Schnabel. So many interesting tombs on his work. Really like this book a lot. Really carries me through and lets me think about shapes and forms and structures and the physicality of paint. Every one of these objects are things that you can sit around, have a glass of wine, and drink, chill, relax. Dennis Hopper, A System of Moments. Another really interesting book from a lot of his early photography in Los Angeles and photographing other artists. Him being inspired by others, and now him being able to inspire us. This is John Baldessari. Another book, Ed Ruscha. Really like this one. Ed Ruscha's photographs. He went around and photographed one end of Hollywood to another, one end of the country to another. And he just has these random images of overheads of parking lots and topography, gas stations, and inspirations for what would later be his paintings. This to me is like the essence of how we can feel somebody's creative flow as it's happening. I love this book by Baldessari. And that leads me into this incredible show I saw at the Brooklyn Museum of Art in New York a few years ago. The Unknown Notebooks by Jean-Michel Basquiat. This exhibition was greatness. You just saw a piece of the ways in which he manifested his own thinking. How his wordplay that he would lay down into the streets of New York, the same tag, were started inside of his notebooks. The idea of crossing out ideas, reworking things. This is a must-have for anyone wanting to understand Jean-Michel. It's another book by Peter Beard, Longing for Darkness. Again, it's just like, how do you get into somebody's mind, man? It's all right here. This book by Julian Schnabel, I really dig. Another really unusual, rare book, out of print. Picked these up over 30 years ago, 20 years ago. Here's Julian painting on top of all kinds of different materials, bringing in religious symbols. Look at that mark making by him. Julian Schnabel is just a genius, man. Have you seen one of his works in person? If you do, you'll understand that he's just like, he's referencing the history of time. Another book by Cy Twombly, Making Past Present. Love this book. This is another tomb of genius. Look at this, a view into his life. Brilliant, brilliant. this is just a scratching of the surface of so much of what's out there for us to experience in an inexpensive way, a way for us to connect with the world as it exists, to slow down, stop looking at our our digital machines, and instead embrace the physicality of bookmaking. That's what else is here. Aside Twombly, Treatise on the Veil. This is such a great book. Let's have a look inside, see what this shows. Look at him. Ideas for his paintings, like the inner workings of a creative mind coming to life. If you can find this book, I really recommend it. It's so cool, really inspiring. And lastly, look at this one here, right? Dennis Hopper. This book is gigantic, man. It probably weighs 30 pounds. Even you open it up and you see like the end sheets are already brilliant. They're already showing you something. Now, look at these just wild images of America, of American topography, American landscape just going through from the 1950s and 60s. Look at that, images of hops. Brilliant. I really feel like I could take you for hours into these books, help you try to understand, like, the idea of making art is a lifetime. Here's Hopper inside of Rebel Without a Cause with Natalie Wood and James Dean. Just more of his black and white 35mm images. I hope you keep exploring bookmaking and book collecting and get into the idea of these physical things that can change your life, change your mind, open yourself up to the kind of creativity that's so sorely missing in the digital world.